But for the moment, it's not because I am here and I don't have my people and I don't have my support the way I would want it. Doesn't mean I'm going to just jump onto anything and going on, just run over to TikTok or go on any one of the other platforms and start behaving badly just so I can be seen. And so, because of course the drama sells. We all know that. So it's not that I'm going to start doing like all these crazy things just because, and I want people to think I matter and all of that. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to do all of this and I'm going to start going crazy and I'm going to start cussing out, because when I cuss out and I behave badly, that for sure is going to draw attention and it's going to bring like a long line of traffic. It's going to definitely bring a long line of traffic. So for me, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not one of those persons. You might not change it, but just think about it, just to think, to stop and think sometimes, because people don't think these days. We have people who are filling our minds and our brains with things, and all we have to do is hop on. A lot of people, you just have to hop on. You don't have to stop and think for yourself and see that it makes sense. Okay. Me on a roll, when you see me like this, I'm making videos on top of videos on top of videos on top of videos. But I'm going to ask a question that maybe a lot of people haven't really been thinking about. They haven't really asked themselves. They've probably never really even thought about it. Like maybe most people. Do you ever really sit back and wonder, like search yourself and just kind of reflect, and just have that time to yourself and that moment to yourself and think about why you follow some of the things you follow on social media and some of the people you follow on social media? Because I'm just randomly coming on here to ask that, because a lot of times we don't think about things. It is when someone else brings it up or mentions it, we realize like, oh yeah, didn't really think of that. You know what I mean? Even if it's something crucial or if it's something really important or something that would kind of really make a difference in your life and something that would be really valid, you know what I mean, in your life. So just to ever really think like, why do I follow this person? Why do I even like this person? I know for a lot of us, we are, especially in these times, we need a lot of validation. We need a lot of attention. We just need, I don't know, some kind of fulfillment. And I can willingly say, right, that different things fulfill different people. You know what I mean? People fill their cup in different ways, if I may put it that way. Everybody fills their cup differently. Right? And I'm just thinking about, like, based on what I've been seeing, actually, based on my observations, I realized that a lot of people, especially like on social media, for example, right? People will just come on here. For example, like when I see people they're not rich themselves, right? Listen to this this analogy, right? They're not rich. They're hardly finding funding for themselves. They don't have it. They're hardly making ends meet, because I know that that's a fact. A lot of times people come on here and they are supporting, people they're a fan of financially. They're supporting financially. They send whatever, whether it be stars, whether it be, depending on which platform you're using, which social media platform. It could be and super thanks, or from YouTube, or all these little gifts that they send on TikTok. And these people themselves don't really have it. They are struggling as it is, like seriously struggling too. I'm not talking a little bit, but yet still you find that they come on social media. And I will say this again, it is okay to like someone, to be a fan of someone or a few persons on the internet. You can, it's okay to do that. You know, people have who they like, and for whatever reason they like them. And if you feel like you want to support them, and you support them monetarily, of course, by sending whatever you send, which in turn essentially is money, you do it, right? But here's what I really think is going on with that for most people, for a lot of people. When you see them sending something online to the people they're supposed to like or supposed to be a fan of, right? They are in a place where they need some kind of validation. You know, I don't know if it will make sense. They need some kind of validation. They need some kind of attention themselves. They need to be seen. It gives them like a kick. It makes them feel important to hear somebody say, oh, thank you for the super chat, Tom Brown. Oh, thank you for the stars. You know, James, whatever. Oh, thank you for the heart me. Brother Puss. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you for the lion. Somebody just sent a lion or a galaxy or whatever the hell they send as gifts that will in turn be money. Some of these people, and you wonder why they do it, is not because they really have it. And I can understand also. I can understand why they do it. Some of them, sometimes in real life, I think they probably don't even have, I don't know, I have to be careful how I phrase this. They don't have maybe real friends. It could be that they don't really have real friends in real life, or some of these people, just some of them, I'm not saying everybody. They don't really have a real life, so to speak. Yes, they might be working and whatever, but the internet is where they turn to for some kind of, like I said before, validation, some form of fulfillment for their soul or for themselves. So you see they come out, they don't really have it. They don't really have the money. They don't really have it like that. They can hardly pay their own bills or whatever they do and take care of their own family. And some of them have a shitload of money, don't get me wrong. But for the ones who are really struggling, wherever they are around the world, right? You find that a lot of them are struggling, but at the same time, they come out on the internet and they're gifting these people. They're gifting these people like crazy. Just because they want that kind of, it's a feeling that they're going after. You know what I'm saying? I keep saying validation, but yes, it is. But it's this feeling, a feeling of belongingness, a feeling of, being a part of. So they come out, they don't really have it, and month after month after month or week or however they do it, however often they do it, they'll come out and they feel good. Them feel like smutty, if I might put it that way. They feel like them a smutty if you hear somebody on the internet say, oh my God, oh, you just sent me this or you just sent me that and thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel like they matter in life, because maybe that's the only way for them to feel like they belong to something, or to make them feel important, or to make them feel a part of, or whatever, like I just said. But really though, if you have never stopped and searched yourself before, like you've never searched and go deep, a lot of people don't search themselves. I do that from time to time because I have to. I have to evaluate and assess myself, and I have to stop and I have to think, deeply into things and reflect and all of that good stuff. Not everybody does that because they're so caught up in all the noise around them and all of the buzzing. It's buzzing everywhere and it's trending everywhere. There's always something trending and there's always something happening, and people don't really take this time out, to really just take time for themselves. It's hard to find people who really do that these days, So they're out there, don't get me wrong, they're out there, but not many people do these things. And if you ever stop, if you ever like really think about it, why do I like this person? Why do I like the drama? Is it that there's something missing in your own life and you just want to feel it's like a void that's being filled when you watch them, when you follow them, or like I said, when you tip them and you send them something and you warrant them with a gift or whatever. Is it because you are like, is it because you're like, you don't think you matter in this life? Maybe you don't think you matter. Maybe you don't think you're valuable. So what you do, you go on the internet, some of you, and you make that sacrifice and you send things that you don't even have. And I'm not here to bash anyone who do that. Anyone who does that. The people who do that, I am just trying to understand. And I am trying to come up with the most valid and what should I say? The thing that makes the most sense about this that I see people do all the time. You know what I mean? Is it that you just, stop and really think about it. Think about it. Ask yourself the question. Really look into yourself and figure out, why is it that I do that? And why is it that I follow this person? And why is it that I send them a tip? And why, or even, is it that what they're doing, what really warrants my money, my super thanks, or my stars, or my heart me, or my tops and roses, or whatever the case might be? So many different ones from different platforms. So like I say, ask yourself this question every once in a while and see. There might be something just missing in your life and you're just trying to belong, to be a part of something. And when you hear your name being called out, is it foolish? Yes, maybe to an extent. Because there are other ways to feel validated in your own self. You know what I mean? Without someone acknowledging you and seeing you or noticing that you're there. And also, a lot of time I want to lament a little bit more on it too, because it's not only that you're sending gifts. It could also be in as simple as the comments. And everybody can comment. Don't get me wrong. Everybody can comment. Everybody can share. Any engagement, any publicity is a good one, whether it's in negative form or in the positive light. When you get these feedback, whether someone be cussing you out in a comment or tearing you down, or they're celebrating you, or whatever the case might be, it still brings money in the end, because engagement is what really pays. You know what I mean? Engagement is what gets you out there and and that's what gets you up there also. So sometimes when I see some of these people, even as simple as comment on some things, it's because they also want to be a part of. They want to feel like they belong. And as much as that's a very normal thing, I know for some people, it takes them a long way just to know that they can comment on something and someone answers them back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the same thing, like when you send them gifts or whatever, and they acknowledge you and thank you and call your name out loud, and it releases some kind of, I don't know, endorphins, some kind of happy drug, a natural drug that you get from it, and it kind of gives you a kick. And that is why I think people keep doing that also, and they keep sending and they keep gifting, though they don't really have it financially like that. But I feel like that's a big part of the reason why many people on the internet do that. You know what I mean? They want to comment on something so somebody could write back and say, "Oh yeah, Tom Brown. Oh yeah, Mr. Brother Puss." You know what I mean? Whether they disagree, whatever. But the fact that someone acknowledges their name and acknowledges them, it can bring them a far way. So this is something I've noticed for a long time. I have never said anything about it yet, but it's something that I realize, because if you stop and think about it, that's really what it is. It's not really hard, but a lot of people don't stop and think about these things. Everybody's so caught up every day in social media and in their own life, even in their own real life. Sometimes some people don't stop, take the time out to think about things and think about why they do the things they do, or you get what I'm saying? So it's really just, I don't know. But I think it's up to us, though, to stop every now and then and ask these questions and think about why. Thank you. And think about why they do some of these things, especially when you work so hard and you really don't have that extra money, but you make the sacrifice and you send it anyway. All because you just want to be seen. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing. You just want to be seen. You want to be acknowledged. And I don't think, in a way, there's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that to an extent. But it is kind of sad also on the other end of it. It's kind of sad that you have to go all out and beyond just to be noticed, just to be validated and all of that. And it goes back to the same point I always make also. That's the reason why a lot of people on the other side of it, the people who are on the internet, come out and do things so crazily over and over again. I'm making a video, babe. You know what I'm saying? So also, it's the same reason. It's the same reason why people come out. There's just something missing in them as a person. And that is why they behave so badly. They either have to be cussing or doing something stupid, making kind of drama and kind of making a scene just so they can be seen, just so the traffic can come to them, just so they can get the attention and all of that. And they just want to be seen. So that is what I have noticed about people. I have noticed that about people. Right? And some of them don't even notice that about themselves. But I realize what is going on. Like we would say in Jamaica, you're going to feel like you're smarty. Because maybe you don't feel like you're smarty. You don't think you're nobody. And once somebody calls your name, acknowledges you, you feel important. Then you feel like you matter. Then you feel good in yourself. And I'm just here to say that, I'm saying all of that to say that it doesn't have to be that way. We all matter. We are all important. We all have our own value. We just have to find it. And we don't have to hear someone mention our names, right, on one of these apps to think that we matter or to think that we belong. We belong regardless. We belong in this world. We might not belong in a certain space, huh? Because not everywhere is for everybody. Just like I know that the Jamaican TikTok, I made a video earlier about that. The Jamaican TikTok is just not for me. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't think I would ever want to be a part of that because it's all toxicity over there. Though I mean, there's always good in everything and they have their good sides to them and it's funny and all of that. But for the most part, it is very toxic. And why there's so many people over there also? It's simply because they want to be a part of. They want to feel like they matter too. They want to belong. So they all try to be a part of the craziness. You get what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be a part of the craziness. So they can be seen. That's why some of them are playing matches. That's why some of them are there begging. Maybe they don't even want to beg. But guess what? For them, they're a part of something. You know what I mean? They're a part of something. And that is what keeps them going. And that's what, and I'm not here bashing them, like I said. That's what makes them feel like, oh, ooh, I'm important too. Like, ooh. You're important too. You know what I mean? They feel like they're important too. And that is why they do it. So every now and then, just really take a stop and look. And when you figure it out, you still probably won't change it. I'm not saying that. But just to know sometimes, just to take a minute and think about why you do the things, why you support these people, why you think you like them, why you think you're a fan of them. Is it because you even really like them? Or you just want to be a part of all of that so you can be seen and heard also? You get what I'm saying? Because it's very tricky. Do you even really like the person? Do you respect the person? But every day you're supporting them and you're a big fan. Are you even really a big fan deep down in your heart? Or it's because when you're over there, right? And when because they have a lot of following, you want to be a part of it too, and you want to be on that bandwagon and all of that. So you're just hopping on, but do you really like that person? Do you like what the person is bringing? Is that something you respect? Is that something you would probably even do yourself? Like I said, everybody do these things now because everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to be seen. And it's just the times that we're in. It's just the times we're living in right now. Everybody want to be a part of something. You know what I'm saying? Not that many people out there are very grounded in themselves. So, yeah. And that's the reason why I think so many people follow some of the people they follow, do some of the things they come online and do even, and you know, reward them and celebrate them and gift them. It's all because there's this void in your life and you just feel like you want to be, maybe it's not even really for you, but because you just feel like you want to belong, anywhere you can find yourself, you're going to go there just so you can fit in. That's the word, just to fit in. So many people want to fit in these days. But why do you have to fit in? Ask yourself though, why do you have to fit in? Are we not enough by ourselves? Why do we have to fit into this world? Why? To think we're important or to think we matter. Because I don't fit in. I don't fit in. I know that I matter. Absolutely, I matter. I'm important. I'm valid. But guess what? Many people might not say that to me or show me that, but I know deep in myself. And a lot of times I even forget it too. I forget it. Like I get carried away sometimes. And one of the reasons also for me personally why I always, you know, want to get my own community and my own following is because I have so much things that I have to teach and share, and so many different awarenesses to bring to people. And without having, you know, your little crew with you, I mean, it makes it so much nicer when you have your little crew. I want to be able to reach people to make that difference in people's lives. And that's the difference between myself and some of the other people, some of the other content creators that I see out there who are popular and who are trending. And for what? For what? For they think that they're doing their thing and they're trending for that. But does that really matter? Well, maybe to them and maybe to some people. But, you know, but the validation, though, it shouldn't determine, you know, who we are as a person. And I always get frustrated because I'm here making all these really valid and really important contents, and people are just missing out. But there's nothing I can do about it. It's not something I can control. People like what they like. They gravitate to what they gravitate to. It's not something I can, you know, I always say, when the time is right, I will reach the crowd. You know, if it's meant to be, it will be. I will reach them on the different platforms or on whichever platform. But the bottom line is, it's still, you know what I mean? It's time. But for the moment, it's not, because I am here and I don't have my people and I don't have my support the way I would want it. Doesn't mean I'm going to just jump onto anything and just run over to TikTok or go on any one of the other platforms and start behaving badly just so I can be seen. And so, because of course the drama sells. We all know that. Undoubtedly. So it's not that I'm going to start doing like all these crazy things just because I want to be seen and I want to be acknowledged and I want people to think I matter and all of that. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to do all of this and I'm going to start going crazy and I'm going to start cussing out, because when I cuss out and I behave badly, that for sure is going to draw attention and it's going to bring like a long line of traffic. It's going to definitely bring a long line of traffic. So for me, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not one of those persons. And like I just said, like I started out, but the whole point I'm trying to make when I started out is, why do you do the things you do on the internet? Why do you follow the people you follow? Is it because it's something for you, really, or you just want to be a part of it? This is something to think about. And that's just my 2 cents on it. I just, wanted to say that real quickly, wanted to share that. And just to bring that awareness again, it's always about bringing awareness to people and people not really thinking about things that are important and things that matter. And sometimes it's when you hear it, or sometimes you just don't remember, because life is so fast. Everybody is just, moving so fast. They're caught up every day with all the buzz and in all the noise. People don't stop and think. So sometimes when you hear these things, you stop and you're like, that it's true. Say true though. Never really think about it, or you didn't remember. You don't have it at the top of your head, but then you're like reminded, and it's like, or you didn't know at all, and then the light switch just goes off. Like, you know what I mean? So that is why I am here. Also, one of the main reasons why I am here as a content creator. To remind people, to bring awareness, to even educate, to teach what some people might not already know, and to help, to share what I've already learned, which is the same thing as educating, because you cannot educate someone on something you're not educated on yourself. So it's just like, you know what I mean? So that's why I am here. That is my duty on the internet. My duty on the internet. That's what I've decided to do on here. To come out and make that difference, the positive difference, because it can be so refreshing, to see different things than what everybody else is doing. All the drama, all the noise, all the chittering, all the chattering, all the this, all the that, and the ding, 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 ding. It can be so refreshing, and not that many people are out there that brings that many people are out there who bring that, breath of fresh air. Not many people. And I just want to be that difference. Has nothing to do with wanting validation, but this is just how it is. How you reach people these days, widely, globally, internationally, all the alley you can think of, is through social media. It's the best and probably the only way. You know what I mean? Kind of. To reach a large audience these days. But it's really something to think about. Think about it. If you have never before, now's the time to really think about it. You might not change it, but just think about it, Joe. Just to think, to stop and think sometimes. Because people don't think these days. We have people who are filling our minds and our brains with things. And all we have to do is hop on. A lot of people. You just have to hop on. You don't have to stop and think for yourself and see that it makes sense. Or see that, okay, it's right, or it seems wrong, or it seems reasonable, or whatever. They just automatically run with it and agree. And so when you can stop for a second and look into your own self and think in your own brain and use up that brain for a little bit, it can be a good thing. Trust me. It can be a really good thing these days. And not just accept everything that you're served on the internet these days. Don't just accept everything you're served. Stop, think it through, rationalize, assess whatever, dissect whatever you have to do, and see what makes sense. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm going to leave with you for now. Until next time, walk good, keep smiling, your girl Uniquely Kimoya. This is how I should have introduced myself in the beginning. Pardon my manners. I got carried away, and yeah, but this is my introduction at the end of the video, just doing a little bit differently tonight, or unconventionally, where I'm introducing myself at the end. But yes, pardon my manners, but until my next video, as I always say, keep smiling, and thank you for your time and your attention. Walk good.